Welcomes to another interesting episode of Minds and Thoughts. You just call yourself the King of Kings. What do you mean?
Yes, I'm the King of Kings, the most powerful healer there is. That's the names that was given to me by the person who guides me to hold the dark magic inside. That's why females have to be pure in the eyes of God.
Who asked God? You?
Me, yes.
Okay.
And I was like, God, why don't you have the ability to fly? God was like, imagine a flying Nazi. You need to understand that it can make you feel heavy, like depression. Depression is darkness. Being too emotional is darkness. Being a person that wants to have sex, like you have now, can be darkness.
Hello, everyone. Welcomes to another interesting episode of Minds and Thoughts. My name is Phathanani. I am your chef. And of course, I am not alone. Wow. I've got this handsome man, darling, Sawubona. Please introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? And what's special about you?
So my name is Kukuletu. I am the healer of healers, the regional healer, king of kings. And I'm a psychic healer medium. And I'm from regionally KwaZulu, Durban, and now I'm residing here in Gauteng, Randburg.
Wow, thank you so much for honoring the invitation. You just call yourself the King of Kings. What do you mean?
Yes, I'm the King of Kings, the most powerful healer there is. That's the names that was given to me by the person who guides me.
Okay. Can you go
deeper
before we can start this of the day?
So everybody, every healer has their names and things like that. For me, I speak in English, number one, because
not a problem.
That's how I grew up in Durban. Even in Zulu, around Zulu people that spoke English.
Okay.
So when I was starting my healing journey, I would say, you identify what you are and who you work with and who guides you and so forth and so forth. And then one day, I remember my ancestor who just came through, was like, listen, we've got a present for you and we want to tell you your names because every healer's got to have names. Then they're like, okay, so number one, you are healer of healers. Then I was like, okay, cool. Then they said original healer. Then I was like, what do you mean about original healer? Then they said, do you believe in reincarnation? Then I was like, yes, I do believe in reincarnation. Then I said, you are the first healer to come through when healers were born, like back in the BC and whatnot. Then you reincarnated into this person now. So then the last one was King of Kings, which means that there's no one above you in terms of people, in terms of your power.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. Nizwile uchazile okuningi, like, when you said like king, like king alone before you can add another king, that's big. But on that note, thank you so much. What I can say again, I don't take you for granted. And thank you for honoring the invitation to come kwa Minds and Thoughts.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. On that note, nizwileke usichazile ukuthi ungubani, ubuyaphi. Today, Kukuletu, should I call you Kukuletu Vision or Kukuletu?
Since this is a spiritual interview, let's go with Mkhulu Visions.
Mkhulu Vision. Mkhulu Vision, I want us to talk about dark magic, curses, lifting bad energies. And of course, other things that will come while we are talking. Remember, this is a discussion.
That's true.
So what I'm trying to say, you are not limited with dark magic. You are not limited to curses. You are not limited to lifting bad energies. But you can go beyond that. We've got an hour doing this interview.
I'm ready.
Let's start. Wherever you want to start. Dark magic, curses, lifting
dark
bad
magic.
energies.
All right, from what I'm understanding, that dark magic is something that's evil and that doesn't bring prosperity upon people. And for me, when I consult people, I always tell them there's either a dark cloud around them, or there's a bad energy around them, or emotionally they've got darkness in them. And for me, I'm a mental, spiritual, emotional healer, because I feel like sometimes you focus too much on the powers and we don't focus too much on the mind, we don't focus too much on the heart. And for me, I feel like dark magic is something that people want to glorify, and I don't glorify it because I feel like it's negative. So me, I'm more about life than this. Doesn't make sense.
What is dark magic?
Right, so dark magic basically is the use of, I'll say, evil to bring upon badness into somebody's life. So let's say to me, I don't want your show to grow. Then what I'll do is that I'll do something evil. Either call upon the devil or call upon ancestors that don't like people. Then I'll try to remove whatever you have. And that's what I consider dark magic.
Who are responsible for dark magic? Because I believe that people who wish bad for others, they've got people that are assisting them.
I'd say anybody can do dark magic, whether from demons to people to even the people you pray for. You know, I feel like with people who use dark magic are just people that don't believe in anything growing. You know, and with experiences in my life, those who use dark magic are always trying to find something deeper, something more evil to destroy. And that, for me, it doesn't make sense.
Who heals dark magic?
That's a long one. That's a long explanation. But from where I can start is that there's us, the healers, you know, who can heal, who believe in good, that can remove dark magic. And then there's pastors who, because there are people who are saying you should be a pastor. Pastors who can pray for you and put hands on you to pray that things go well. Then there are card users or, you know, general, like, people. And I feel like I want to understand, are you asking in the context of spirituality or in general?
I'm just asking, but now since you brought the spirituality in general, can you just unpack everything? Because there's someone that is watching. So we're not doing this for us. We are doing it for the matches, yes.
All right, so what I would say is that with good, there's a lot of varieties to that. You know, a dog can be a good fighter for evil. And a firefighter can be a dog.
Oh, a dog.
Dog, yes. And then a firefighter could good fighter for evil. And then a policeman, same thing. And then a teacher, same thing. And I always consult with teachers and I say, you're giving more to the universe than you think you are by just either, you know, education, ABCs, all that. Because fighting evil is fighting progress. Because evil doesn't want progress, and good wants progress. And that's why I feel that the two come together, the yin and the yang, or the good and the evil. While with good and light, it creates more happiness. Right now, we are, as Black people, living in South Africa with freedom, as we call it, because of good. But if it was for evil, we would still be oppressed. Doesn't make sense.
Okay, you spoke about good and bad. Before I move, the dark magic. What's your thoughts, dark magic and sex?
I get asked this question a lot. I would say that you can transfer bad energy from a sexual partner to another sexual partner, not just HIV and STDs. And it's very important for people to be careful of how they have sex with other people. Because if you're having sex with a prostitute, you are taking, let's say, the 150 people they've slept with energy towards you. Now, if you're sleeping with somebody that's, let's say, using dark magic, you're taking whatever evil essence that they have towards you. So let's say you are a clean, this glass, let's say this glass is clean, and this glass enters with another dark glass. Whatever was inside here that looks so pure will be darkened by that person. So when you have sex with somebody, you're not just transferring a sperm, you're also transferring energy. And that energy comes back into you and stays with you until you yourself have to cleanse.
Yeah.
So even go deeper then. With females, and don't fight me here, with females, because they carry the child, they contain more abilities what's the right word to use? To hold the dark magic inside. That's why females have to be pure in the eyes of God, more than males. Now, I'm not saying males should not be pure, but I'm saying as a guy, you can go and have sex with 5 females and only be affected by 1. Because you are letting out your sperm, you're letting out your energy. That's why with females it's called the walk of shame, while with guys it's called well done. you did it. Because we have two different notions we play in our lives. Now, let me continue with the female. If a female is sleeping with just two guys that have bad energy, she will see more downfall in her life than a guy. Because with guys, we don't hold on too much emotionally. Remember I said I'm an emotional, spiritual, and mental healer. So when I consult females, I always tell them, before you move on to your next partner, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, let go of that person, because it's gonna play into your next relationship. While with guys, they can have 3 to 5 women and live their lives until 60 without having any issues. I'm talking from actual experience, reading people.
Okay. Wow. I'm bringing a question now that might be something, but it's okay. I'm a gay man.
Okay.
I sleep with other guys. Sometimes I sleep with more than one. Sometimes more than 2. Sometimes I sleep with more than 3.
Are you saying at a time or in separate?
Separate, of course. I'm going back what you've explained now, but now I'm taking to me as a male. You said a woman, it will be a walk of shame. A man is like, well done, you did it.
Yes.
So, same sex.
Now, with same sex, it gets a bit complicated, depending on, are you the female, are you the male in the same sex relationship. If you are the female, same thing. You get the same...
Or if you're a female, yes, of course you don't have the vagina and everything.
Yes, but if you're the bottom, then you will get what the female would get. If you're the top, then you get what the top gets. Simple as that.
No, you're joking.
I'm being serious. I've consulted, I think even transgenders, I've seen all of it. It's weird to me because it's so plain, straight and forward, you know? And with males, where they get issues is with children, because children love fathers. So if you have a child that you aborted and you don't do anything for it as a guy, that's when your things usually get affected. While with the female, the child feels like they usually have no choice, because sometimes the guy don't tell them when they come without the condoms, sometimes it's rape, so forth and so forth and so forth. But at the same time, each gender has its good and bad. And then with different sex, I would say with lesbians, it's a bit different, because lesbians aren't the same as, penetration as guys. I would say it's more about energy and them exchanging energies.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
While with guys, it's more penetration, so you're exchanging more energy, but more whatever that person has. Remember, some people put things in the coochies and stuff, and that also will transfer to you. Obviously, if the woman is also muffing on the female side, that also can make the process faster. It's the same thing as HIV. Spiritual, like evil and darkness is the same thing as a disease. It transfers. Once you get into it, it transfers.
Okay, before we move to a second point, is there any wisdom on a dark magic that you want to give the munchies, or maybe you want to add before we move?
I would say that as people, not just as Africans, whatever, as people, we need to stop giving evil too much power, because sometimes it's so easy to let it live your life. I think what we should continue more is more on the goodness. I know it's not a popular opinion, but that's what I believe. Because too many times you guys are paying 5,000 rands for something that can be done for 150. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Dark magic. I want to ask another question. That was from one of the munches out there. But if you don't know the answer, or you don't know the answer, it's okay. This munches was asking me, actually it was a statement or the comment, deep down inside I was like, okay, this fall under dark magic, but you'll correct me. Like this guy said, when Mabakula, the uncle, what happening is like when you are a criminal, and then when the police are looking for you, and then they'll come, and then you change. Maybe you become a goat or a dog or a cat.
Shape-shifting.
Yeah, can you explain that?
That's nonsense. There's no such thing. There is such thing as changing your appearances. So for me, I want to put in this as a simple man. I don't want to lie. So if I'm going to a township, you know how you have an angry face so people don't approach you? It's the same thing when you, I have to say it in Zulu. Ngesinye isikhathi fanele understand ukuthi sinamandla ukuthi mengigqoke i-wig ngifana njengomunye umuntu. Kodwa mingagqokile i-wig ngifana njengalo, yabo. So that's what I believe in. Yeah, there's some people who, when you're taking off glasses, you don't look the same. That's what I consider shape-shifting. But to actually gradually change your entire posture, physically, as I'm looking at you, that'll kill you. Yeah, but because for what I believe, you don't have the genes to do so, like chameleons and whatnot, where to change colors and what. But there is a way, if, let's say, in darkness, yeah, but it's dark at night, it's 11 p.m., very dark. There is a way for me to change my appearance to your third eye, yeah, but to make you feel as if I'm bigger, I'm more stronger than I actually am. Doesn't make sense.
Okay. Tell me, how do you feel about those people who will tell us they are using brooms?
That's a nonsense also. Some things are very straightforward. I mean, the brooms are used traditionally for spiritual reasons. It's just that they use them in connotations to say, no, these people are using brooms to fly around and be with you. But I'm talking physically. Now, spiritually, there are people that fly in brooms. So certain rich people, and I mean people who are making money, they use women who ride in brooms. You know how we call them, some people have ancestors, some people have iluane, all those things. So some people have those things that fly in brooms to go and deliver messages or bring
Or things, not them.
Not them, no. As a physical human being, there's no way. Because I've asked God, why didn't you have the ability to fly? And God was like, imagine a flying Nazi.
Oh, ask God, you?
Me, yes.
Okay.
And I was like, God, why don't you have the ability to fly? God was like, imagine a flying Nazi. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Imagine all the rapists being able to fly. Then imagine all the people that commit murder and being able to fly. Then God was like, it was going to go out of hand, so I removed it.
God answered you?
Yes. He said he removed it from us. And it makes sense, though. Some things we don't have the power to control. Not to say technology won't take people to be able to fly with jetpacks. It's just to say God didn't want us physically being able to jump up and just fly.
So you spoke to God?
Yes. As I say, I speak to God directly.
You?
Yes, me. Because for me, at first, I also thought the same thing. That's weird. Who speaks to God? Whatever. Then God was like, to prove it's me, I'm going to give you a date or a month of when something is going to affect your entire country. And then you will be able to see it through. Then I was like, okay, sure. Then he gave me something and that happened. And like it affected the entire country. That's why on my social media at Mkhulu Visions, you'd see that there was a prediction I made. I said, be careful. I was on the 5th something of June. I sent it to my WhatsApp group, my spiritual WhatsApp group. And I was like, guys, be careful. There's a disaster happening in the roads of South Africa. And then later on, a month or two later, boom, the Bramo, wherever, the roads erupted.
Oh, yes.
There's literally, even people in my group can vouch for me. I said that. How many healers can say they've predicted such a massive situation?
How old are you?
26.
Okay.
See, because God wants to bring evidence. If I was crazy, I wouldn't have evidence. And that's what keeps on happening. I said to people in 2019, while I was speaking to one healer, who was an evil man, and I was like, listen, God is tired, ancestors are tired of us not having money because they're living, in places where there's money. And then what happened is that later on, this was 2019, then later on, everybody started getting, awakenings, you see them celebrities and whatnot. Now, the next thing that's happening for Africa and South Africa is that God is tired of us not allowing ourselves to grow. So, as you've seen the housing fire, if you go on my Mkhulu Visions, there's another one prediction I made. And I said, God is going to continue putting these buildings on fire until we start listening. And then literally 2 weeks later, if not a week later, the Hillbrow apartments caught on fire.
So you predict.
I predict.
Okay, Mkhulu Vision. Let's come here.
I bring evidence. I was taught that way growing up, always have evidence.
I want you to do a prediction before you go to the second.
They come naturally. Some of them, one thing I've said to people is
Okay. I love what you just said. No.
Yes.
You close me. Good.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say yes, but when you said they come naturally, I believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, but you can proceed. You were still saying they come naturally. I want you to tell the viewers, Mina, I think I got an answer.
So with predictions, depending on the magnitude of them, meaning how big they are, they come naturally. So if I'm to tell right now, don't take any taxis for the next 3 months, that's a natural prediction. That's coming naturally to me because they know that something's going to happen in 3 months in these roads. But if it's a prediction where I'm reading you and I say to you, 1, 2, 3 is going to happen in the next few months, that's a different type of prediction. Does that make sense?
I hope you are still enjoying Munches and Thoughts. Yes, I've got Mkhulu Vision. That's how you wanted me to call you, and I'll respect you on that.
Thank you.
Hey, ukhuluma izinto eziningi babukeli bami nami ngisizwa ngingazi ukuthi kumele ngithini. Mkhulu, asiye kuma cases now.
Yes.
We always hear people say, are you cursing me now? Why you are cursing me? Why you are cursing? If you can just start, what is a curse? And then maybe you can just go deeper there.
I feel like a curse is something that you put upon someone for a lot of reasons. Could be health, could be accidents, could be mental, could be emotional, could be in general. That's what a curse is. And I would like to speak more about family curses, you know, when a healer or somebody with power doesn't want prosperity, let's say, for the Z clan. So what I would do is that, for let's say how I work, you know, I'll just sit down, do my things. I'm just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, let's look at them. They'll show me a picture, I'm okay. So I don't want 1, 2, 3 to happen to this family. Now, what can happen is that if, let's say that 1, 2, 3 works, that family can end up having accidents, meaning everybody there dies, or majority of them dies due to accidents, whether they get hit by a car, they run into a truck, whatever, you know, or they take the wrong roads and then they end up falling through a cliff. That's because I'm directing them in my curse. Now, people need to understand a curse is very, very powerful. And not anybody can just lay a curse on anybody. You have to have some sort of understanding about spirituality to be able to lay a curse. Because if you don't do it properly, it can come back to you. Like I've seen some people's family members, where I say, Anto ako wena. Mezamunza 1, 2, 3. Athi yebo mkhulu, qinisile. And yeah, ever since it was like a slangan. Then I'm like, yeah, she tried to do a curse on ubaba wakho because akamthandanga for 1, 2, 3. Uthatha inheritance and do. Yabo. But a person who's powerful enough can go and say, all right, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to eat any food today because if I eat food, whatever, it's going to affect what I'm doing. And then that curse works. And that's why healers who claim to do so much want to be seen and recognized because they feel like they need to be recognized for their power.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Can you repeat that?
Healers who bewitch want to be praised for their power because they feel like it's a lot of work to bewitch. But I'll say something. It's easier to bewitch somebody than it is to uplift somebody.
Wow. It's easy to bewitch someone than uplifting someone. That's what you said.
Way too easy. For me, I can sit here and be like, okay, I remember somebody's name and then boom.
Let's do a chess. Let's do a chess.
All right.
Thank you. Wow. I hope the Munches are watching.
I'm
are
glad for
listening.
this platform. I'm very glad for this platform.
Thank you so much. This platform can only go forward because of people like you who comes here and talk to me. Here we are talking, you know. But anyway, curses. So tell me, Nem, like me, maybe I'll say to you, is that fall under curse?
Yes. You can curse somebody with your heart.
Okay.
Like literally, if you don't like somebody, you can literally curse them for bad things to happen to them. You know, but you can also sit down, use candles, you can use impepo, you can pray, all those things. But depending on how powerful you are, let's say you're a very powerful person, you can just sit here and say, I wish that 1, 2 person doesn't go 1, 2, 3. And that's it. And the curse is laid upon them. End of story.
Siphila emhlabeni ohlabayo, emhlabeni wezoni. So how can you take the curse away?
Many ways. For what I do is I use water. I'm a water and a prayer. And obviously a seer, a hearer, because I can also hear things, you know. I can hear things coming, like something is coming towards me or something. I can see things in the future. Sometimes they tell me, be careful of that corner. Somebody's gonna try and jump and do a fake scam thing. And then I tell the driver, slow down. And I get to a corner, like, oh, somebody was trying to do that thing. Because I'm in tune. I was telling you earlier, being in tune with the universe, meaning understanding, right now, if I'm drinking that, I know why I'm drinking that. I know what it's gonna do for me later on. It's like how gents want to drink alcohol so they can have, you know, courage and stuff to go out. Same thing as a spiritual healer. You must know what you're doing. Everything aligns. You wearing glasses aligns. You sitting like this aligns. Me speaking like this aligns. Why? Let me see a simple scenario is that I see your grandfather and then I'm talking to them. Then I say, I sit like your grandfather. Yazi yabo kanjalo. Then you're like, oh my God, that's my grandfather. Why? Because he was identified in this posture. So it's very important about how you act. There are also people that have said, don't do this because no one will understand you. And that's why when some ancestors come through, they're like, what's going on? And that's where I want to get into a quick one. Atheists come in. I feel like people who are atheists have been exposed to people that hadn't understand the spirituality. I've read atheists before. I've met a lecturer. Okay, let me not get into that, but I've read atheists before.
No, you can get there. Why not?
No, it's a deep one. But
No, I want you to go in there.
I've read a lecturer who was an atheist.
Okay.
Who read books, everything, like ustreng, yabo, mutu uyazazi into zakhe. And then one day God was like, today's a day, read him now, show him. And I was like, 1, 2, 3. I was like, your back is like this. I'm like, your mom is trying to contact. I'm like, this. He's like, you convinced me. And that's because I want to come back to this. Atheists have been exposed to the wrong people. People who don't believe, I feel like, are people who either don't want to or haven't had the chance to. I was a person who didn't believe at first, you know, in curses and whatnots. Because with curses, you can physically see them if you're more powerful enough, or you can feel them. That's why some people were like, yo, my shoulders are heavy. Yeah, but once you heal somebody, the shoulders get removed, whatever is removed, and they feel lighter.
Oh, okay. No. I get you. Proceed, I get you. No, I get you.
Exactly. So with spirituality and evil and darkness, now I'm coming back to these things because I want to leave them, you know, the munchies not knowing. So with darkness, you need to understand that it can make you feel heavy, like depression. Depression is darkness. Being too emotional is darkness. Being a person that wants to have sex, like you have now, can be darkness. Because we gotta retain our energy so that we don't get curses. Curses are something that can be put upon you. Somebody can sleep with you because that's how they can put a curse upon you. Especially the more you're rising up. Yeah, bro. Let's say right now you're getting DMs because they can see you going up, but they're not wanting to sleep with you because they only just find you attractive, but because they don't want you to get up there. So that's how you can lay a curse on somebody. You just sleep with them. Sometimes you give them something to drink, the obvious route. Sometimes you even say, here's my jacket, wear my jacket.
That's a curse. It can be a curse.
Yes.
Say that's a curse.
Yes. Which is why it goes back to my rules. Be careful what you wear and who you're wearing it from. Be careful who touches your hair and who's touching your hair and where they're from. Be careful who cleans your house. Because there are many instances I've consulted people.
But we've got cleaners, Mkhulu Vision, and we don't know. Remember, Uti, listen to Asizazi. Like, ngibizile la ku-Manchester and Thoughts. And ngiyakuzwa uyakhuluma and like,
But the thing is, it's like the knowledge that I have, if certain people can understand it, that's why certain 5 healers can say one thing about you, because we are reading from the same Bible. There's the physical Bible in the world, but there's also the spiritual Bible. That's why if people don't believe, I'm like, look at me and read me. Some say I have a lot of light, some say I have a lot of power, some say I'm hard to read because my things are closed off, whatever. But it's always going on the same line of you have power. And that's why people need to be stopping fooled by these bushiri people and what nonsense.
uyayiqala indaba ngicela.
Anginendaba futhi.
Yo, angithandi sibiza amakhaba abantu. Proceed. Ungabiza amakhaba abantu.
But okay, all right, sharp. I'm sorry, it makes me mad.
Yeah, amakhaba abantu angifuni siwabize la kule show.
But anyways, what I'm saying is that people need to be careful of fake healers or healers who have power but exaggerate their gifts. Yeah, but because these people, they can see 1, 2, 3 right now. It's okay, you have red lipstick. Okay, you do this thing. But they'll exaggerate it and say, that red lipstick comes from your great-grandmother and she wants you to do one thing, but you must take out 5,000. So this happens. Yeah, but people manipulate. And that's why I've had people coming from healers who have 500,000 followers, healers who have 20 million, coming to me and saying, I went to this person, they tried to help me, nothing happened. I came to you, I paid 300 Rand, and now I'm healed. And that's because we need to understand as people that what those guys are saying in a previous episode that you're gonna take out is that it's very important to know your gift and knowing what you have, you know. But curses and darkness, they can also go in the same thing.
Curses and darkness.
They can go together.
Wow. I want to ask you a question. When did you, which age was it you got a gift, or the age where God came to you and talked to you?
Okay, I'll give you 3 scenarios because there's 3 different times.
Okay.
Number 1, grade 2. I was going to school and God was like, if you go to the school, the English-speaking school, as Model C, if you go to the school, you do well. I'm in a car. There's no one sitting next to me. I'm the one on the right. So this voice is coming this way. I'm like, what nonsense is this? God is trying to tell me that this school will benefit you. And it did. Then, second time, I was 17. And I think that year alone, I was just predicting a lot of things. I'll tell my friends, don't wear this tonight. What you saying, Kuku? You know, come on, dog. And then they run into 20 other people wearing the same thing. And now they feel they're not special. Or I say, guys, let's not go and sit there and eat. I don't even know the place. Then we go and sit there, it smells of pee and other things. Or I say to somebody, this girl that you're with, you're going to break up with her in 2 weeks. And it happens. That's when I think I had an idea.
Were you not scared?
Yes, I was. I'll be honest. I was. Because for me, it wasn't like some people, they say it takes 3 years, 5 years. Everything was instant at once. And then the last time I'll say I knew was 22, 23. That's when I physically felt it. So there's 2 events in that time. So number 1, when I was still going to Boston Media House in Sandton, and I was still studying there, 2019. I was in my room, normal day, whatever, I'm just chilling, boom, I start screaming. All of a sudden,
You start
yes, I start screaming. And then I'm like, I've never done that in my life, you know? And then, obviously, we go down consults to see healers, and like, no, here's a gift, all that stuff, you know? But something to me didn't sit right. I felt like they were giving me a quarter of what I needed. So then, obviously, I tried to find help, whatever. I went to Sangoma Who, went to Healer Who, went to Koko Bani Bani, Konke. They all told me, same thing, you have a gift, you're gifted, you have power, but they're not saying what it is. No one said Sangoma. No one said Nyanga. No one said what's what. No one said that. And I was like, okay, clearly I'm going to have to find this answer myself. And that's when I say my journey actually started then, in 2019.
Okay. Wow. Manches and thought. Before I go to this question, I want to ask you something. And you're allowed to answer you're also allowed not to say no comment. Listening what you just said now. You are on social media, you watch TV, you read papers, I believe, or yeah. What's your thought on this banning topic that's out there, self-initiate?
It depends on the... If you are Sangoma, if you say you're self-initiate and you identify as a Sangoma, I think there's an issue there. Because I feel like with Sangomas, as I've said before, there's only 15% of people in South Africa that are supposed to initiate, from my understanding.
15%?
15%.
Okay.
And with people who are saying they're Sangomas and Nyangas, about Dr. Banbani in like the spiritual realm, and I'm not saying doctor is in like doctor life, that's sure, that's fine. But if you're saying that you're a healer and 1, 2, 3, Kokobani, then that for me is an issue. Because I believe if you're going to be a Sangoma or a Nyanga, you have to go for initiation most of the time.
Okay, you say if you're calling yourself Koko, Phathanani, or Mkhulu Phathanani, and a Sangoma, that's an issue if you are also calling yourself a self-initiate. That's what you say?
Yes, but also there are people who just need to pray and, use maybe bones. That can be easily self-taught. If you're doing like simple things, like, cards, bones, or just like speaking, then you can be a self-initiate as a Sangoma. But I feel like if you're doing exactly, let's say, what certain healers are doing, like the ones that come to your show, like who heal people, and you call yourself a self-initiate, then I think that's where the problem becomes. Because I know if I was calling myself Sangoma, I would not be able to answer half the things that they ask or talk about.
Okay. The last one.
But as a psychic healer or cards person, you can be a self-initiate because there you can be self-taught by your guides or by God or by your angel. There, I feel like it's more different because it's most of the things that psychics have seen, it's not things that you can just like go and sit somebody 24/7 and teach them sometimes. That's where I feel like, okay, then you can be a self-initiate or somebody who's self-taught. Does that make sense?
To me, but I don't know to the viewers. Okay, before I go to the other one, I've got another question that I need your thoughts. Google, Mkhulu Vision. I've got a Coco Vision anyway. She was once on my show. Maybe one day you'll sit with her. But let me ask this question, and I need your thoughts. We've got a lot of celebrities lately that are embarking on the journey, especially Yobungoma, because Leyako, I angazi ngababona. Leyako, Lenai.
Because it's real. It's real. Mina.
And Leyako, Leyako, side what Machel before the cast.
So me, I'm a psychic, I'm a healer, and I'm a medium. That's what I am.
The celebrities. Lately. What's your thoughts? Like, I don't need your perfect whatever. I just need your thoughts. And if you don't have a comment, it's okay.
I'd say half of them are being lied to.
Being lied to?
Half of them.
Why?
Because it's simple. Like guys, I've been saying this. Only 15% of South Africans are supposed to be initiating namhlanje. That means 1 in every so-and-so. Manje, bani twasa, loya twasa, loya yego twasa, or say Christian foot manje. That's because people are being lied to. Like, there are people who've spent 90,000 rands going to initiate and nothing changes for them. And that's because you're never supposed to initiate in the first place.
Okay. They end up paying a lot of money. They're not supposed to be there. Okay. Mkhulu Vision. Lifting bad energy. Your thoughts?
Okay. I'll say lifting bad energy depends on how severe it is with somebody. I think we just need to understand that some people like to have bad energy
Like,
Yes.
kunabantu abathanda ukubona ama-bad energy.
Yes. Because they like people to feel sorry for them so that they can always get help. Yeah, boy.
Okay.
There are people that have said to calm down, don't scream, it's okay, I've got you. This is the problem, 1, 2, 3, we're done. But they want to make it seem like it's a Mount Everest issue, when it's not a Mount Everest issue. And the funny part is that you'd come across somebody in the same week, let's say Monday I was healing somebody with that issue, and then Wednesday I'm healing another person. That person on Wednesdays, and I want to make it seem like their issue is way bigger than the person that I read Monday. Not to say I discuss my clients, no, I'm just saying,
No,
me,
it's just, yeah.
me thinking in my head, like, you have the same person, like issue, that I sent 1, 2, 3, we done. Because even Nalo Muntulo came back to me and said things are well. Like some people I healed them today, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, 5 hours later, they have interviews. You know, and that's me lifting the bad energy off them, because I tell people, when somebody looks at your contracts, something has to capture their eyes. Even as much as they may not be spiritual people, their soul or something tells them to pay attention to the CV that they're seeing. And if you're a person that has a lot of curses and bunyama and all these bad luck things happening to you, then that person is just going to pass it by, because who would want to invite trouble into their workplace? But once I prayed for that person, then they have light. Then that's when somebody says, no, let me come and actually, let me just invite them for an interview. As I've said, there are people who have healed today, 1 week later, they have a job interview. That's because whatever they've been sending out, it's coming through. Yeah, but because the guides now are like, okay, we're up, we're ready, we're not going to zelt anymore. And that's why I feel like with curses and bad luck, you need to understand that they need to be uplifted and taken away from you. And just to ask the question, what was the main question right now?
No, we were at the lifting bad energy.
Yes, lifting bad energy. I feel like lifting bad energy is just a way of saying removing darkness. Yeah, bo. So lifting bad energy is removing the darkness off you. Because once your darkness is removed, then you shine, right? Because we all were born in light.
I don't know what I should say. Makosi or Tokoza, you tell me. Guide me.
It's just say Mkhulu. Yeah, Mkhulu is fine.
Mkhulu funa ukuthini? Khuluma Mkhulu ngikulalele.
No, it's me, just nje. Yeah,
Okay.
that was them saying, that was God saying to me, that was spot on. Yeah, bro. So usually when I say something to like the right TTT, God makes, me do a noise or something like that, So let's say something, when I say God, okay, sharp. When I say thyself, do you hear that? That's because I'm identifying that God is not something that's a male or a female, which is true. God is not a male nor a female. But because for me, I grew up knowing that God is, a male or God, I just prefer to say God. So my spirituality goes with God. That's why I pray with people all the time, because I want them to show that for me, there's no evil around me. You can pray in front of me, nothing will happen to me. I'll continue as I was, because why the gift I have is from God.
So tell me, where do you belong?
Like as a psychic healer medium, around those things. That's where I belong.
What I want to say, are they madlozi? Are they God, Christianity? Where do you belong?
I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a Christian. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in gods, mermaids, guides, all those things. I believe in those.
Amadlozi?
Yes, too, Amadlozi. Because Amadlozi are part of guides.
Okay.
And Amadlozi, people take Amadlozi in so many ways. For me, it's simple. Idlozi is somebody that was alive and that have passed away. And now, because they were good enough and they contributed enough to society, God says, come down and help one person that you choose to help, or help a certain family that you choose to help. That's why one ancestor can be in charge of 200 years of a family, while another ancestor can just do your mother and then pass and then say, I'm done, that's my job. For me, I always tell people in consultation, you have active ancestors, your ancestors are all right, they may try, and then you don't have active ancestors. meaning that there are people that have passed away, but they don't care. They're just lying there like it's a picnic, day in, day out. And that's why I think my results, most of them start coming in, because with people that have working ancestors and I help them, they do say that they see the changes and when they talk to the ancestors and they get protected. While with people who have intimate ancestors, meaning they try every now and again, they get some sort of help from the ancestors. Then with people who are just, don't have active ancestors, may pasha, give 20,000 rands and nothing changes. While an active ancestor, you can give them 100 rand and they can get you a job. While an intermediate ancestor, you can give them 500 rand and they get you a job. While the one that doesn't work, you give them 20,000 rand and nothing happens.
And then you keep on. But why they're like this?
Because an ancestor is determined by how they lived. If your grandfather was somebody that likes to fight people, they would be your fighter. If it's somebody that was intelligent and read books, they will be your accountants, your watwati. If it was somebody that got women or was attracted or was liked by men, then they will be involved in your love life. Each ancestor plays a certain role. What I've seen most, even in Nyaga and Isangoma make a wrong decision, is acting as if all ancestors play all the roles, while each one plays a significant role.
Yeah. Okay. Today I've learned a lot. Yo. Okay. Your word of wisdom.
Believing.
Everything that we spoke about, dark magic, curses, lifting bad energies. Your word of wisdom, then we're closing the show.
I'll say believe in yourself and believe in whatever you're doing. You must follow your path. Don't let people always tell you where you need to go. Believe in yourself. That's the one true thing I can say. Believe in yourself. Even when there's darkness and you're sleeping on the streets, even when there's darkness, you can't pay rent, even when there's darkness and you don't believe in that you need to live another day, believe in yourself. Because when there's belief, then there's hope. And when there's hope, there can be light. And when there's light, there's prosperity.
On that note, it's a wrap. And thank you so much. It's a wrap. Wow.